From Channelside Drive, where Lord Stanley Cup rests.
Time ticks down! The Lightning win the Stanley Cup!
Travel across the bridge to St. Pete to find our American League champs.
And the Tampa Bay Rays have just won the American League pennant.
And get ready to fire the cannons.
Lob pass toward the end zone. Gronkowski, he makes the catch. Touchdown Tampa Bay. What a great grab by Gronk.
Because it's time for another episode of Play the Bay. Play the Bay.
And welcome to a shocking development out of Tampa tonight. The Tampa Bay Rays. Actually, good evening, everybody. It's L. Bushman here. I know I got the Rays of Flags going on right now, but news just broke from Jeff Passan that the your Tampa Bay Rays are sending Blake Snell to the San Diego Padres for a bunch of prospects. Let me pull up the exact amount of prospects that we were getting back. I want everybody who's joining me right now live. I've had a few glasses of wine. I'm just in shock, just as everybody else is. So we've got Blake Snell is being sent over to the San Diego Padres for Luis Patino, Francisco Mija, Blake Hunt, and Cole Wilcox, who are headed to Tampa. I know a couple of those guys are catchers right now. If you're joining me right now live, this is instant reaction to the Blake Snell trade that has just happened right now. Blake Snell, who is going to San Diego in a trade. It doesn't surprise me. Talk was happening as soon as the World Series ended about how long Blake Snell was going to be a Ray. I mean, his contract is, hi, everybody. Everybody's joining in the comments. If you want to join in on the fun, comment in the comment section. Definitely shoot out to me. If you want to join me on the live stream, I'll shoot you off the live stream link, and you can join me in the show. It's definitely, you can say it's shocking. You can say it's done and over with. You can be like my boy Devin Garnett. You can say F the Tampa Bay Rays. He's done. You can say that. I mean, you can have your reactions right now. It's definitely a very shocking trade at this late at night. We always thought the Rays would probably make a move during the winter meetings and so on before the offseason. We didn't know if it was going to be something like this. A lot of people saying Blake Snell's probably not going to get traded, but he has been traded to the San Diego Padres. Let's see here. So catcher, so Francisco Mejia and Blake Hunt are both catchers, something that the Rays definitely need. Cole Wilcox is a pitcher. Luis Patino is a top pitching prospect. I'm really surprised that the Rays didn't try to get back a major league ready guy to get back in this trade. Something it's if you're a Rays fan, you've been a Rays fan for a long time, which I have been. Now that Stu Sternberg and these guys that have taken over ownership for the past 10 odd years, it's this shouldn't come as a shocker to you. I mean, we've seen trades like this with David Price. We've seen trades like this for the past few years. You shouldn't be shocked about this. But, after coming off a World Series appearance, you would think they would reload and definitely try to make a run at this. Now your rotation is now without Charlie Morton. Your rotation is now without Blake Snell. So now you have Ryan Yarbrough. Well, no Yanni Torinos. He's going to be out for Tommy John surgery. Brent Honeywell, we don't know if we're going to get him back or not. So this does relieve a little bit of cap space for the Rays. So they could go out and they could go and get some people with the money they got back, the money that they, don't have to pay Blake Snell anymore. It's definitely going to be an interesting thing for the rest of the offseason, because we're still in January, or we're still in December. We're not even into January 2021. So there's definitely more moves that the Rays could make. And my buddy John Decker, who's in the comments below, they could offload KK. the Rays could not. They could still make moves. KK's making a lot of money this year. They could offload him to somebody. So it's definitely, you can call it reloading, or you can call it penny pinching, or you can call it what it is. But it's something that if you're a Rays fan, you definitely have to be. You can be shocked. You can be awed. You can hate them. You can love them. You just kind of have to roll with it if you're a fan. And as at this point, I think what happened in the World Series really put a damper in that relationship with Kevin Cash and Blake Snell, with him being yanked in the 6th inning when he was on a roll against the Dodgers. I think that put really a wrench in their relationship. And, when a pitcher and a manager are not getting along like that, it definitely makes things in the clubhouse really weird. And I thought, if it's a time to trade Blake Snell, the time is to do it. I mean, his value is relatively high. I mean, his postseason pitching was pretty good. I mean, he had a great game 5 game. I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, game 6 game. I'm sorry, no doubt about it. So his value is really high. I mean, but you got to look at it this way: Blake Snell hadn't pitched really well since his 2008 Cy Young, winning year. I mean, he hasn't really been that pitcher that we all really thought he was going to be. He's almost like a Chris Archer. Now let's pump the brakes on an eventual Chris Archer reunion. We don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want Chris Archer back. I mean, now you might want to have him back, because now you've lost Charlie Morton, you've lost Blake Snell. If you're a Rays fan, you kind of have to pump the brakes on the overreaction. I like the comment by Stu. They're extremely good at getting rid of contracts and maintaining the same level of play. I like it. And you know what, Stu? I actually agree with you, because they're offloading a bunch of money. You can take that money that you're saving from paying Blake Snell, and possibly, if you're going to maybe trade Kevin Kiermaier next, and you can go out and get some guys that are going to fill the holes that you really need to go be a competitor once again in 2021. So, I know Blake Snell was a favorite among fans. He was also not a favorite among some other fans. So, you're going to get that, oh, this is a stupid move. Oh, this was terrible. Or you're going to think it's a great move. And look, the Rays are not, their history when it comes to trades has been pretty well. I mean, the last big trade they made was, sending Chris Archer to the Pirates. They got Glasnow, they got Shane Baz, they got Austin Meadows. Not too shabby. So we don't know, this happened when the Evan Longoria trade happened too. Now, obviously that trade didn't work out for the best on both sides. Evan Longoria got hurt a lot for the San Francisco Giants, and the players they got back from the Evan Longoria trade didn't pan out as well either. But, we don't know what we're getting out of these prospects. They got to haul back with a bunch of young guys that they're going to put in their farm system, and they're probably going to be major league ready pretty soon. Catching was one of the biggest needs that the Rays needed. You got Mike Zunino, pretty much it. And Mike Zunino, well, when you're batting sub 200, and yeah, your defense is pretty well, I'm going to value, of course, defense, but I'm also going to value a catcher that can also hit as well. So if you're joining me in the comments, thank you very much. If you want to join me on the chat, please let me know. You know what? I'm actually going to get the invite. So if you want to join me, I'm going to put it in the comments below. You can join me in the show right now and get your instant reaction about the Tampa Bay Rays trading Blake Snell to San Diego. Excuse me. To the San Diego Padres for a boatload of prospects. It just happened right now. Jeff Passan broke the news about 20 minutes ago. I was in my 4th or 5th glass of wine. I was watching a movie, and then I'm getting my phone just blowing up with alerts and also comments from friends saying, what is going on here? Blake Snell has been sent to the Padres. It's definitely a shocker. It is definitely something that is going to be talked about for the next couple of days. I know Twitter is on fire right now. I can see people just saying, and like Danny Russell and the boys at D-Rays Base saying, end me. Devin Garnett said on the comments beforehand, F the Tampa Bay Rays. It is frustrating for Rays fans. A lot of comments and concerns about being a Rays fans is, they try to invest a lot of time and patience and money into buying the merchandise and being a fan of the team. But when you're shipping off, players that they love every couple of years, it's hard to invest in this team. And Wow, I kind of sound like JJ Watt when his rant today about, the fans investing a lot of time in their efforts and spending a lot of money on merchandise. But, this is business as usual for the Rays. So you shouldn't be that angry because they've traded away star players before and gotten a lot back when the value is high and the time is now. So yeah, it's going to hurt. It's going to sting. We're going to miss Blake Snell. I think Blake Snell is pretty I would think he's going to be happy about this. He's going to go to a team that's, on the up and coming. The San Diego Padres have a real good young team with a lot of superstar in the making players. They've got a great farm system, one of the best in the league right now. I think the Rays and the Padres are number 1 and number 2 when it comes to their farm system. So I don't think he's going to be mad at all. Honestly, if you're a Rays fan, be true to your team. If you're mad at them right now, I'm sure it stings. And spring training is going to look a lot different. Opening day is going to be a lot different. Now, of course, the pitching rotation is going to look very weird. It's you're not going to have that 1-2 punch. Right now, the Rays rotation is Glasnow, and then you've got maybe Yarbrough and maybe a few other guys that can bring up from the minor leagues. We just don't know yet. Glasnow is going to slide into your number 1 spot. He's going to be your ace right now as the top guy for the Tampa Bay Rays. So if you're joining me in the comments, thank you very much. This is Al Bushman with Play the Bay. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at Play the Bay 2020 and also on Twitter at Play the Bay TB. I'm going to keep this going as long as I can. Like I said, our buddy Gio, life as a Rays fan sucks. Yes, it does. It is frustrating at times, but it's just business as usual. Mark Tompkin has saying it is confirmed the Rays are finalizing a trade of Blake Snell to the Padres. So it is final. It is confirmed. The trade has been finalized. It is good to go. I'm going to keep this going as long as I can. So if you guys want to join me on the stream, click the link. If you want to comment, share your thoughts, please don't be afraid to do it. I will be here as long as I see fit. Like I said, I've had a few glasses of wine, and I was on here lickety split because I wanted to, get the message out there and talk to you guys as fans. As much as I am a fan of this team, you guys are out there as well as a fan of the Tampa Bay Rays. So if you got some questions and comments, please put them in the comments below. Reach out to me, and we'll talk about it on air as well. Once again, the Tampa Bay Rays have traded Blake Snell to the San Diego Padres for a ton of prospects. That's right. It has happened. My instant reaction is I looked at my phone and I looked at it again. I said whoa to a couple people, and then I sat back and relaxed before I went on live, and I said, it's business as usual, man. It's not surprising that they would trade away a star player who's making $50 million in total contract. And as my buddy John said before, KK could be next. They're probably not done making moves, so don't be surprised if you see a trade coming up maybe tomorrow, maybe the next couple of days where Kevin Kiermaier is gone and traded to somebody else because you want to get that value high while these players are hot. Now, we covet Kevin Kiermaier, his glove. Offense has really been that great. So they could get a lot back. Andy from Twitter said Kevin will be the next go. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Kevin Kiermaier is gone. And I'm going to change the color of my brand real quick. Too much of this redness. There we go. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Kiermaier is gone. If you guys could put in the comments below, what would be a good fit for Kevin Kiermaier? Like, you guys shouldn't be that mad. I mean, we're going to get a lot back to load up. Owed way too much money, just like Snell. So is KK. I mean, this is business as usual for the Tampa Bay Rays. You get a bunch of guys that were brought up in the minors. You groomed them, you made them star players, you paid them a lot of money, and when it's time to go, it's time to go. I mean, it's what the Rays MO is. When they don't have butts in the seats, when fans aren't coming, salaries are not going to be big contracts. And when they are, you have a shelf life of a player that's maybe 2-3 years at best, and then he's gone, traded to some other team, which, looking at the history of Rays trades, the Rays usually come out on top because the players that they trade away either A, don't do that well, or they're already done and out of the league. I think the only really trade that they really lost on was the David Price trade. David Price has flourished in Boston. Now he's with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Of course, he didn't play this past year because of COVID. He got paid a lot of money. But the other trades that they've done, the Rays have really come out on top. So, except for the Evan Longoria trade, that's kind of been a wash right now. But the other ones, the Pirates ones, the Chris Archer trade has been one of the most, fleeced trades that the Rays have ever done and brought back a lot. So and you got to remember this too. The Rays have a lot in the farm system. They've got a lot of arms they could bring up. Shane Baz is one of them. The guy's got a lot of heat. He's got a great breaking ball as well. So let's pump the brakes, Rays fans. If you're already saying, I'm done with this team, I'm all ready to jump ship, I'm not going to watch this team next year. You are. You're not going to stop being a fan just because of one guy that got traded to the Padres for a lot of prospects. You're not going to stop being a fan. You're going to watch this team in 2021. You know why? Because they went to the World Series this year, and you want to see them do it again this year. So, let's pump the brakes. I know it's late night. It's almost midnight. We're almost to, Monday morning where, the news, ESPN is going to be all full of this. Major League, MLB.com, MLB Network's going to be all over this story, which I'm sure they already are right now. But you got to have to kind of take a step back before the overreaction starts because, if you're already saying I'm done, then you're not really a true fan. I see a lot of tweets right now. It's like almost half and half. A lot of people are like, oh, this is stupid. Or, hey, this is business as usual. Or, it is what it is. John Mamola, who is the program director for WDAE, trust the process, but Morton Snell gone in the same offseason following World Series appearance. Yeah, tough call here. It's a half and half. Honestly, I'm okay with this. I really am. And if you want to call me out as saying, hey, you're dumb, you're stupid, go ahead. I'm okay with this because I'm used to this by now where the Rays ship off a star player that's making a lot of money. They're going to get a lot back, and they're going to mold these prospects, to be star players for the Rays. Good comment by Stu. Good buddy Stu. If you're a baseball fan, you appreciate it. I'd rather be a fan of a team who consistently puts a good product on the field than a team who gets attached to players and keep them around as a face. I totally agree with you, Stu. I'm in the same boat as you are. I think, this team has been consistent with putting out a winner on the field each and every year. Yeah. Now, granted, we haven't won the World Series yet, but this team has been a constant contender, a force in the league for the past few years. And you know what? I know a lot of other fans get attached to star players and they get attached to the players that are on the team that become fan favorites. But, I'm going to take winning over having to buy a Blake Snell jersey or having to buy an Evan Longoria jersey. I'll take winning a World Series over that because honestly, I'd rather have a championship than having a bunch of overpaid players on my team, that are honestly, I honestly thought Blake Snell is kind of a whiny baby, a crybaby almost. I mean, you're complaining about the Tommy Pham train with the slapdick comments. You're complaining about the Rona in the offseason, but you end up playing anyways. So, to me, I think having Blake Snell out of that locker room is a good thing. Call me wrong, but that's just the way it goes. And as a fan of this team, you gotta roll the punches, and you've gotta kind of roll with it because that's the way the Rays operate. That's their MO, and that's the way it's going to be. So thanks, everybody, for joining in the comments. This is Evan, a.k.a. L. Bushman. You can find me on Twitter at LBushman07. With Play the Bay, we have a new episode on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Of course, we will be talking about the Blake Snell trade that just happened. And if you're just joining me and you don't know the news yet, the Tampa Bay Rays have traded Blake Snell to the San Diego Padres for a boatload of prospects, couple catching prospects, and a couple of pitching prospects as well. So if you're joining me in the comments, please comment below. If you want to join me on the stream, the link is in the comments. You can pop on there. We'll talk. We'll discuss. But I will, put this, stream, which was kind of a, I would say kind of a last minute thing. Do I want to go on and talk about this? Do I want to go live? Sure, why not? It's sports news, and I think I have an obligation to report about Tampa Bay Rays news, just like everybody else is. So thank you for joining me, for this impromptu live stream of the instant reaction for the Blake Snell trade that just happened about 25 minutes ago. So yeah, I look at this as an opportunity for the Rays because they needed some areas to fill. Catcher was a need. They didn't have much in the back end. They've re-signed Mike Zunino for 1 year. Granted, Zunino, his hitting isn't all that great, but his defense is there, and he's good with pitchers. I personally thought they could have gone out and gotten somebody else instead of re-signing Zunino. My opinion, of course, but he is back. I want everybody's opinion. What's the pitching rotation going to be? What is it going to look like for 2021 now that you have no Charlie Morton, no Blake Snell? Tyler Glasnow is now elevated to that number one spot. You guys also have to remember this: the money that they're saving for trading Blake Snell and possibly maybe more to come, they can go out and get other players to come on board for maybe a 1-year contract or a 2-year contract. And then you've got guys that you could bring up in the farm system that can definitely help them out to make a run for the 2021 season. So it's definitely, not something to be all crybaby about and piss and moan about, oh, they traded away Blake Snell. Yeah, it hurts, but it's part of the business of baseball. So, and I'm going to make sure Toad says, exactly, that's a power-up. And I think that was a power-up move that the Rays did by trading Blake Snell to the San Diego Padres. Maybe they should have gotten Will Myers back. And Andy from Twitter says, I personally think Snell being gone and us getting prospects will be good in the years to come. Andy, I totally agree with you. I just said that a few minutes ago where, the Rays don't normally lose in trades. They get a lot back in return, and they mold these guys into star players, which, of course, they pay, and then they let go in trades just like this. So, I definitely agree with you on that comment. I definitely think the Rays made the right move. I think, obviously, the timing is not ideal. I mean, we're just coming off of a Christmas time, and nobody really wants to see a player like Blake Snell traded for a bunch of prospects. But it's definitely, I would say, not a one and done. I think the Rays are probably still on the move. They're probably going to make moves. People are probably calling them up saying, okay, Blake Snell's gone. Who else do you guys have? And we're looking at you, Kevin Kiermaier, who is making a lot of money. And I think the Rays will probably try and trade him. So don't be surprised if Kevin Kiermaier goes to somebody in the next couple of days. So thank you for joining me in the comments. This is Evan with Play the Bay. Of course, our new episode will be airing on Tuesday night live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to join us for our newest episode. So yeah, I'll keep this going for another couple of minutes. If you guys got some questions or comments, please put them in the comments below. I'll definitely be here for the next couple of minutes. And if you want to join me on the stream, I will definitely put that in the comment section again. And you guys can join me on the stream and definitely chat about it with me with your instant reaction. So there's the link. You guys can join me on the stream. Definitely like to see your instant reactions and also what you think about the Blake Snell trade to the San Diego Padres that just happened about 20 minutes ago. It broke everywhere. I mean, you got to look at their farm system, which is one of the best. See here. I know you asked earlier, but where do you think KK's best fit will be and why? I haven't really thought about it. His best fit, obviously not to a contender. We don't want to see Kevin Kiermaier to a contender at all. I definitely think he'd be a good fit in any National League team. Keep him out of the American League. He can go anywhere else. I know the Rockies are looking for some help in center field. You could look at teams like the Chicago Cubs. You could look at teams you know, it's definitely kind of a hard one that I haven't. Listen, I've had a few glasses of wine. I haven't really looked up the teams that are in need of a center fielder, but I honestly think he's going to go somewhere. He's owed a lot of money, and I know teams will be calling. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing if we see Kevin Kiermaier gone. I would definitely predict this, and this is my bold prediction. Kevin Kiermaier will probably be gone within the week. If not by the end of the week, you can probably see Kevin Kiermaier gone, which is, you know what? It's business as usual. Yep, a lot of people saying next person on the block is Kevin Kiermaier, so don't be surprised if old green eyes, and yes, they are green, will be gone by the end of the week. But you got to remember too, they've got a lot of young guys to bring up from the farm system that will definitely slide in to make this team a really young, exciting team. So don't get too attached to these guys. It's business as usual. Now, I know everybody would be up in arms if Randy Rosarino would be gone. Now, I would be kind of pissed off too as well, but he's not going anywhere anytime soon. So, yeah, Kevin Kiermaier, I definitely see him going to a National League team. You got to look at a team that's definitely in need of a center fielder, but his offense has been very, very bad. I mean, he's a Gold Glove winner when it comes to, the defense, but when it comes to the offense, Kevin Kiermaier is no Ken Griffey Jr., and he's not one of the perennial hitting center fielders, but he's definitely on the defensive side. So I would see him going to a National League team. I mean, right now, look, I don't have my notes up about where to go. I know one person put in the Colorado Rockies would be a good fit. I know they're looking to move some guys there as well. Looking at the comments on Twitter. Twitter is on fire right now. A lot of people heard about this. Definitely, I know. I definitely feel the Rays Nation. I've been a fan. Definitely been a fan of the Rays since '98. So I definitely feel you, man. So Jeff Passan has put out the return for the prospects they got. Luis Patino. He has 97 mile an hour fastball. His slider is a wipeout slider. His fastball tops out at 100. Francisco Mejia is a buying low on a former top 10 prospect at a position of need, which is catcher. We do need Cole Wilcox. He is a clear first round talent upside for pitching below, and the Blake Hunt, who is a catcher, he's okay. He can crush the ball. So let's not be too hasty about this yet. So yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So, let's not try and jump ship yet. I'm going to be here for the next couple minutes. Once again, play the Bay tomorrow, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for everybody for joining me on the instant reaction to the Blake Snell trade. Once again, Blake Snell, before I sign off, has been traded to the San Diego Padres for a gaggle of prospects from the Padres as well. So the Padres definitely make an upgrade in their pitching rotation. Snell is definitely he'll slide into probably the number 3 slot, which is kind of weird because you say Blake Snell. Yep, thank you, John. Trust the process as well. I totally agree with you on that. I think the Rays do a great job when it comes to their trades. They've won on a lot of them, and I definitely think that a lot of Rays fans need to pump the brakes before jumping ship on the Rays as well. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. Trust the process, man. They've got one of the best farm systems in the league. I think they jumped up to number 1 at the end of this year. So they just reloaded another heavy top farm system. So you could take the money that you're saving from paying Blake Snell and possibly Kevin Kiermaier, who may be traded as well, and you could bring a couple of guys over for cheap contracts. Then you bring up the guys from the farm system, and you just trust the process. Just trust it. I definitely agree. I definitely agree with John as well. John Momola, program director for WDAE, as well, chiming in there. Thanks a lot, John. So yeah, Twitter's on fire right now. I love Twitter. I love making fun of Bucks fans and Rays fans, especially when it's overreaction for either a game or a trade like this. And it's, you have every right to overreact. But if you're a Rays fan, don't jump ship just yet. Just trust the process, as John said just a couple of seconds ago. So yeah, if you want to join me on the live stream, I'll put it in once again in the comment section. You can join me. We can talk about it. The instant reaction to the Rays trading away Blake Snell to the San Diego Padres for a gaggle of prospects, which, the Rays, that's what they do, man. They trade for prospects. They make them into superstars, pay them a lot of money, and then they trade them off again. So it's business as usual for Stu and his crazy-minded upper management. So yeah, we're gonna get a lot of negatives and positive reactions from a lot of fans and a lot of talking heads and radio guys, and that's totally understandable. And I really hope a lot of the radio guys out there keep an open mind about, okay, obviously, Blake Snell was one of the best pitchers on our team, but he hadn't pitched like a Cy Young since his Cy Young pitching season, and that was true to form. He's been an average pitcher at best. He looks sharp in the World Series and the playoffs, great, but give me more of that during the season instead of just the up and down roller coaster that you are. So yeah, once again, thanks guys for joining me in the live stream. El Bushman. How about the Bucks? How about the Bucks clinching a playoff spot? Raise the flags, everybody. Raise the flags. So, all right. Well, I hope everybody has a great night. It is midnight. I'm going to go to sleep. We will be back Tuesday. Play the Bay. Instant reaction. Blake Snell traded to the Padres. Let that sink in. I'll see you guys on the flippity flop. Have a good one.